Welcome everybody, I'm Ray Fewings and this is the Channel 44 In the Box Seat, talking about greyhounds, and we're talking about the Gawler Gold Cup sponsored by the newspaper from Gawler, the Bunyip. It's on next Sunday night, it's a twilight meeting and it really is a crackerjack field, very even. They ran blistering times in the heats ranging from 30 and 40 through to 30 and 70. And the box draw has made it a very complicated race. Should be a terrific night out there at Gawler, and if the weather is kind, there'll be a great crowd and plenty there for the kids as well as the adults. As far as the interview tonight, it'll be Petar Jovanovic, who had a good night at Gawler on the heat night. He won 3 races in all. 2 of them were in heats of the Bunyip Gawler Gold Cup. He's got Picaboon running, and also cousin Callum, who is a very solid sort of a dog and looks to be almost a certain place getter in the race. But we'll find out from Peter very shortly about that. Racing over the weekend down at Mount Gambier, there was some interesting results down there and some good times. Ralph Patzel won a double down there, and Bernie Rogers, who has had a pretty lean run for months, suddenly has hit a purple patch with his dogs, and he produced one that there was a bit of a whisper about that was pretty smart, and it's called Viking Angel, and it's out of Kiowa Angel, which was a sister to a dog called Manhattan Angel, won a lot of races here by Vapor Whirl. I noticed Yvonne King's got a couple in out of the same litter on Wednesday, so they may be well worth watching, but I know that this dog Viking Angel has run better time than the open class dogs down there, so it's one with a real future. As far as the races around the nation this weekend, we've got Wentworth Park, the Vic Peters final. It's a terrific race, $75,000. At the Meadows, the Hume Cup had a lot of heats last Saturday night. That's on, that's another 75. And of course at Gawler, the Bunyip Gawler Gold Cup worth $25,000, and it has brought together a very, very even field. Now, as far as the tips are concerned, for the upcoming week, the Honeys have gone on Wednesday. Race 6, number 7, Heavy Duty Par. This dog was raced in Adelaide. Then he went to, I think, Tassie and Victoria and raced there for a while. He's come back to Adelaide, and his last couple of runs have been pretty good. A good second at Gawler last start, and the Honeys have labelled him as a good thing. That's race 6, number 7 on Wednesday. And they've gone for race 12. Yes, there's a 12-race program. Number 2, Damia Bale. A solid winner last start in 30 and 42. Won at Strathalbyn in early October and looks well placed here. Could win its 6th race on Wednesday. On Thursday night, the Honeys have gone for race 2, number 1, Mighty Chaos. Very fast winner over the 388 last start. Goes up to the longer trip on Thursday night, but there's drawn box 1. And they've also gone for, in the Classic Prelude final, race 8, number 8, Just Is. It's a pretty tricky race now. Some of the good dogs didn't go all that well in the heats. Victor Victoria missed out. Dignified Lad was the fastest qualifier, and he's drawn the red. He's got to be hard to beat. But Just Is has got a very good record from only a few starts, and the Honeys think he's the good thing. Now, the boys behind the cameras and the fellas that do the videotapes for us, they've come up with one for Thursday night. Race 7, number 1, Magic Castle. Magic Castle, since joining Don Turner's kennel, has been extremely reliable, been stepping up in class each time, and it has drawn beautifully. It did contest the Adelaide Cup heats and the Gawler Gold Cup heats, a bit of a step down now, and it won 5 races in a row last month. Now, I've got a few to watch, I'm suggesting for you. Brendan Gazhatsky, who is a very popular greyhound owner and trainer, he's got a pup that's been trialling very well. I notice he's got 2 in on Wednesday. I don't know which one it is, but I think it might be one called Grape Picker by Mantra Lad. Trialled well enough to win, so keep an eye on that one. If it doesn't win on Wednesday, it's certainly a good dog to follow. And Ray Murray trialled a very good pup at Gawler a few weeks ago, a black pup, yet to race, and he trialled that and it went, I think about 30 and 9 or even better. So it's a very promising one coming through for Ray Murray, who has 2 runners in the Bunyip Gawler Gold Cup. As far as my tips are concerned, on Wednesday, I'm taking a bit of a gamble. Dane Wendy was a good thing beaten here last week, got poleaxed on the first turn, so I'm putting her in. Race 2, number 3. There is a good dog out of the red she has to beat. And the other one I've gone for is race 9, number 3, Fire Tyson. That's for Thursday. Now, Wednesday, race 3, number 1, Thierry Data, a new one for Sean Matcott. has run about 30 and 30 at the Meadows. Should be very hard to beat in a maiden off the red. And the other one I've gone for, saw this one trial very nicely here last Tuesday. Race 9, number 7, a dog called Sugar Ray Cool. Now his form's going to look awful, but believe me, if he runs up to his trial, he will win. So they're the good things and the ones to follow. In a moment, Petar Jovanovic will give us his analysis on his runners in the Gawler Gold Cup and the possible winner. Well, our guest is Petar Jovanovic, a man who loves the big race events. He's won a few over the years, and he's joined us on Channel 44 and on grsa.com. Peter, Gawler Gold Cup, you're looking good with a couple of runners, Cousin Callum and Picaboon.
Yeah, 2 got through. They're going good, both the dogs. Cousin Callum, he's coming back after an injury, but no, he's just been a good dog all the way through.
And Picaboon, you've done a mighty job with him. He came to you with very poor form, and he's developed into a very strong and consistent dog, although he's still a bit iffy at the start.
That has been his problem. He used to sit down in the box in Melbourne. They couldn't correct it. They asked if I could do something with him, and fingers crossed, it's all worked. But he races honestly, but it'll be a number in the final, I think. Like he might run into a place.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Queenslanders look good. Bogey King was very, very smart. Bogey Magic. How do you read their chances?
Bogey Magic, I think, will lead. It's a reliable beginner. It'll head us all off. Bogey King can begin, but he doesn't have to. He's probably the best dog in the race. But it all depends on what happens in the run of the turn, because Aston Thomas from the 8, he's a good dog if he lands on the lure. Tricky race, Callum Picaboon, if they make a mistake in front, he can capitalise because his run home time is enormous. And then you look at Callum Picaboon, the old stager, he tries his hard out and he's well boxed. Ray will be happy with both his draws, actually. And then you got the Monza dog, he's honest, but he's going to find the squeeze box from there. And who else was there? That was about it.
I think that's it. I think you've covered it. So Callum Mayhem, a marvellous dog. Would it be fair to say he likes Gawler the best?
I think he races best there, yeah, he does. He'll come from any position at Gawler. But look, he races well here at Engle Park as well. Yeah. But it's a tricky race. It's funny how we've got 2 stayers, basically. Like they both contested the distance championship here a few months back, and now have come back and race at Gawler in a sprint race.
Well, Cousin Callum's a good quality dog, and he certainly can follow a fast pace and still give some sort of a kick.
Well, I actually was setting him for the Hume Cup, but time ran out. I trialled him here on the Saturday morning a couple of weeks ago, and his time was the quickest for the morning. He flew, but still wasn't good enough to compete in the Hume Cup this week. So I decided to go back to Gawler and give him a run there, even though he hadn't trialled there, but he's just a professional dog.
Well, the greyhound racing here is pretty even at the moment. It's very hard to win a race of any stake money. So it's going to be a great contest on Sunday, and we thank you for your comments and wish you all the best.
Well, look, hopefully it's a wonderful day weather-wise, and we get a big crowd there.
I'm sure we will. Thank you very much, Peter.
No worries.
Petar Jovanovic there, one of our leading trainers and a very, very good form analyst as far as the Gawler Gold Cup is concerned. I like Bogey King from the 7. The only way I think he'll miss out is if Aston Thomas cuts him off at the start. So that's it for this week on In the Box Seat on Channel 44. You can catch us on grsa.com.au or recommend it to your friends. We're there all through the week, and good greyhound racing.